How are all you children of Miss Hoffman's fourth grade class today? Oh, I am so excited to get a chance to be back with you again for more of Klaus's Corner. Thank you so much for giving me this invitation to join you once again. Today, we have a wonderful book that we are going to read together. But before I tell you what book that is, I would like to tell you a little joke. Okay, it's a knock-knock joke. Knock, knock. Interrupting cow. Ooh! See what I did? I interrupted you, like the interrupting cow in my joke. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that joke. I thought it was very funny myself. Today's book is called Leroy the Lobster and Crabby Crab. It was written by Edward Harriman. Early one summer morning in Rockland, Maine, the waters of the harbor were calm and crystal clear. The rising sun sent golden shafts from surface to bottom, making the grains of sand shine like tiny diamonds. Even the seaweed sparkled. Leroy the lobster, having finished a hearty breakfast of plankton stew and fried sea fleas, was just leaving his house in the rocks in search of adventure. No wonder, in all this warm light of the new day, that Leroy should spy, half buried in barnacles and lazy starfish, an old ship's logbook, now partially exposed by the running tide and the shifting sands. So you can see right here, this is a logbook that Leroy the lobster discovered, yeah? Oh, he's very observant. Oh, look at that. Just then, Leroy's friend Crabby the Crab came out of his tin can house to see what Leroy had found. Crabby the Crab said, "Wait a minute, Sonny," he said. "Don't read that old logbook. Something about that gives me a creepy feeling." In case you didn't know, that is Crabby the Crab right there. "Don't be silly," Leroy said in a bubble of laughter. "Everything gives crabs a creepy feeling." Then he leaned back his back against a discarded truck tire, which was standing in the mud, and began to read the mysterious book. Suddenly, he jumped straight up on his tail. "Look what it says," he cried. Crabby crawled closer. Leroy flip-flapped around and danced on his tail with excitement. "Wowee! It says here that a pirate ship laden with treasure was scuttled in Rockland Harbor on a certain night hundreds of years ago. Let me see. Oh boy, look! Pieces of 8, gold and silver, diamonds and emeralds, rubies and pearls." Seems like Leroy the lobster is very excited. Oh, does anyone know what this thing is? Yes, that's right. It's called an anchor. And do you know what it does? Yes, that's also correct. This helps keep the boat in place. You throw it down into the ocean waters and it keeps the boat from drifting away. Very good. "By walloping whiskers, Crabby, old pal, we are going to search for treasure. What a wonderful day for adventure," says Leroy the lobster. "Oh dear me," said Crabby. "Now my whole day is ruined, and it was such a lovely morning before all this came up. But I suppose I shall have to go with you. I promised your mother I would look after you. My, let me see, almost a year ago, the day your mother and father got caught in the lobster pot and couldn't get out. Oh, what would they say now? Come on, quick, let's pack our lunch and strike off," says Leroy the lobster. Soon they were away, heading offshore, away from their comfortable home in Rockland Harbor. Leroy flipped and laughed with joy, but not Crabby. for Crabby knew of the dangers ahead. So he kept one eye on Leroy and the other on the deep, dark waters around them. At last, they came to a comfortable spot near the base of the breakwater at the harbor's entrance. "Whew," Leroy said. "I'm tired. Let's stop and rest." "Good idea," Crabby replied. "But we must not waste too much time. You know how quickly the water gets dark after sundown." "Oh, don't be silly. We've got lots of time left," said Leroy. "Remember, Leroy, half of our daylight belongs to the trip home. It takes as long to come back as it does to go out. You must listen to me. I am older and wiser than you are." Leroy just laughed. But he laughed too soon, for at that very moment, appearing from nowhere, flashing past them like a swish of water, whoosh, charged Big Bad Bill, the codfish, the most dreaded enemy of lobsters and crab, the most savage codfish in Rockland Harbor. And that is him right there, Big Bad Bill. Oh, look how fast he is swimming. Incredible. He's almost like a Michael Phelps of fish. "Help! Help! What shall we do?" cried the frightened Leroy. "He will turn around and come back to grab us both." "Quick!" cried Crabby. "Hide here." He grabbed Leroy with his claw and snatched him behind a heavy growth of thick seaweed. "Don't move an inch. Here he comes, but he can't find us here." Oh my goodness. They're hiding from Big Bad Bill the codfish. They seem to be a bit scared. I'm a little bit scared too, but that's okay. We'll be scared together. When Bad Bill finally gave up the hunt and disappeared, Leroy exclaimed, "Woof! That was a close call. I almost shed my shell before it was time. I guess you are right, Crabby. We really must be aware of the danger when we're as far away from home as this. No matter. We are safe for the moment. Let us be on with the adventure if we must." Oops, my. Look at the seaweed. There's a big cave in here. It seems as if there was a cave behind the seaweed in which they were hiding. Wow, see how big it is? Crabby, look, what is that strange reflection? Come on, let's go inside. "Careful, Leroy. Caves can be dangerous. Proceed with caution," says Crabby. Ooh, it's a very big, very dark cave. How do you feel about that? They're really going very deep into the ocean. Slowly they crept inside, and what do you think they found? You are right. The treasure chest. Pieces of 8 gold and silver, diamonds and emeralds, rubies and pearls. Wow-wee! It takes your breath away, cried Leroy, grabbing at the valuable gems. "Don't be greedy, Leroy. Just a minute. How did this heavy treasure chest get into this cave?" "Oh dear," says Leroy. "Right, Leroy. Only one creature could handle a job as heavy as this." Leroy thought, and then he said, "Awful Austin." Crabby says, "Right again. Awful Austin, the awesome octopus. Awful Austin from southern waters who summers in Maine. This must be his summer cave, so this must be his treasure. Quick, Leroy, we must get out of here before he returns, or surely we..." Oh no, look at who is here. I think I know who it is. "I'm not leaving until I get some of this loot." Leroy hastily emptied all his food from his sack and began to fill it with jewels. Oh, what a stupid thing to do. You have thrown away all our good food. We can't eat diamonds and pearls. We'll starve to death if awful Austin doesn't get us first, said Crabby, very scared. Suddenly, the water darkened outside the cave. Crabby says, Awful Austin, he's coming. Swiftly, they dart out of the cave, but Leroy had all he could do to swim with his heavy sack full of treasure. And there was awful Austin coming towards them. Oh, what are we going to do? Oh, children, here he comes, awful Austin. You see how big and yellow he is? My goodness. Look, Leroy, there's a school of mackerel swimming up Penobscot Bay. Hurry, we'll hide amongst them. He'll never see us. Crabby and Leroy were suddenly swept up by the school of mackerel and tumbled along at very high speed through the water. Glub, glub. Leroy tried to call out something to Crabby, but he couldn't say anything at all. Oh my goodness, it appears as if they are lost amongst the fish, but perhaps they are being protected by the fish as well. Maybe they were safe, but no. What was that noise? Ka-chug, ka-chug, ka-chug. A huge fishing boat was passing overhead. Suddenly, they found themselves packed tightly amongst the mackerel and rising slowly to the surface in the big net of the fishing boat. Leroy cried out, Oh my goodness, what are we going to do now? Cried Leroy. I'm afraid this is the worst mess we ever got into, said Crabby. I'm afraid this is the end. Oh, merciful heavens, cried Leroy. Oh, that's quite a predicament for those two to be in. At least they are together. Maybe they'll think of something. Hey, there's my old friend, Simon the sea turtle, swimming by. Simon, hey, Simon, over here. Help, help. Simon the sea turtle changed his course and swam towards the big net. Good day, Crabby Crab, croaked Simon in his long way. What in the world are you doing in that thing? We are caught. Help! Help us get out, or surely we are lost forever. Simon looks like a very big green turtle. With one bite of his powerful jaws, Simon ripped a hole in the net. Leroy and Crabby climbed out and popped back into the ocean bottom with Simon the sea turtle quietly following them. Oh, you see there? They were able to escape the net because Simon was very generous with his biting skills. You see that? He bit right through the net. Oh! Simon, old friend, we thank you kindly for saving our lives, said Crabby sincerely. What in the world were you doing so far away from home? Asked Simon. Leroy told Simon about the adventure. Did you manage to save any of the jewels, Leroy? Leroy looked into his sack. Wow, I still have enough left to buy 1,000,000 fish egg sandwiches and a brand new house for each of us. Gentlemen, I have an idea, drawled Simon. You boys are a long way from home. You couldn't possibly get back before dark. But if you don't mind using that diamond bracelet for a collar and that string of pearls for reins, you can harness me up and I will give you a quick ride back home on my back. Hey, you know what I just realized? Crabby Crab has a cute little hat right there. Oh, that is so adorable. Splendid, said Crabby. No sooner than done. And soon they were swirling along at high speed on Simon's back. Oh, look, they are going so fast. Very impressive speed, Simon the turtle. When they arrived home, Leroy clicked his claws with joy. Oh, thank you, Simon, old friend. Crabby and I want you to keep the diamond collar for bringing us safely home. Oh boy, laughed Simon. Now I am the grandest turtle in the ocean. And for you, Crabby Crab, said Leroy, I have saved this beautiful diamond ring. But what have you saved for yourself? Asked Crabby. Why, I still have the beautiful string of pearls and our happy memories of a great adventure. Oh, look at that. They're all playing with their jewels. See, he's got a little cute ring and a lovely diamond necklace and all the pearls. Even this little fishy without a name, he seems very happy as well. Then, with a toss of his head and a smile on his face, Simon the Tea Turtle swam away, waving goodbye to his friends, Leroy the Lobster and Crabby the Crab. Oh, that is so sweet. Do you like to wave goodbye to your friends when you see them? All right, I think this might be the end of the story. It is, so everyone, raise your hands or your flippers or your claws and wave goodbye to all our friends. Oh, that was a wonderful story. I'm so glad you were able to join me today. And take care of yourselves, and we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye. Tschüss.